Tracy Dion's Mind. This is my most anticipated release of 2025. We'll get back to him at a later point in this video, okay? I don't think I've rated anything I've read by her less than a 5-star. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ellie if you've never been here before, and on this channel I upload whatever I want. Today is going to be a fun bookish video. If you watched my video that went up on Saturday, I just uploaded my 2025 book journal setup video, and I kind of talked about my reading goals and just kind of my overall plan for the year. Really, I just want to be in my bookish era. I've been in my bookish era since I was a child and learned to read, but I really want to just enjoy reading this year and read all the books that I can possibly read. So I don't want to say that this is going to become a booktube channel per se, but I am definitely going to be doing what I always do, which is following my heart on this channel and just keeping up with whatever my brain wants to do. And right now that is reading and reading content. Today I was in a very Today I was in, this isn't gonna work. Today I was in a very pink mood. I don't know, I just woke up and wanted to wear my pink sweatset. I wanted to use my pink body wash, my pink lotion, my pink body spray. I did my makeup pink, and I'm just feeling very Barbie today, so enjoy, I guess. But let's get into the beginning of the year book tag. This is something that was created by Larry Reads last year for 2024. I haven't seen an edition for 2025, but I just really wanted to do some type of bookish video at the beginning of the year to kind of just recap, I guess, what I enjoyed about 2024's reading, but also have a place to document my plans for the year before the year really even starts. So today is January 2nd, so we are barely into 2025, and I feel like it's the perfect time to just sit down and talk about bookish things. The first question is, how many books are you planning on reading in the new year? So this year I am planning on reading 32 books. That is my reading goal, but I guess I'm planning on reading more. If you watched, again, self-promo, if you watched my 2025 reading journal setup, then you would have seen that I read 31 books in 2024, and it's just something that I've been doing for a few years now, but I always just up my reading goal by one book more than the previous year. Because I read 31 books, I decided to make my goal 32 books this year. However, I am also trying to complete my physical TBR, specifically my Tackling the TBR series, and because of that, I have 44 more books to read. So that's 12 more books than what my goal is. So really, I guess the goal is 44, but there's also so many books that aren't on my physical TBR that I really would like to read this year, and that will be on my monthly TBRs. Like, I am joining a book club and just all of those things. So I don't know, that's kind of why I'm hoping that 2025 is a year of reading for me, because there's just so much I want to read. At least 32. All right, so I had to bust out my 2025 reading journal for this next question, which is, what are your most anticipated releases for 2025? So I'm gonna go to my anticipated releases spread because that is where I wrote them down, but I only wrote down books for the first half of the year because I really feel like that was all that was interesting to me, but I also know that more books will be announced at the end of the year, so these are at least my ones for the first half of the year. I really want to read Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. And maybe not for the reasons that most people would want to read this. The main reason why I kind of want to just see what this book is about is because it is about someone who's on a swim team, I think. I grew up being on swim team. I love swimming in general. I love swimming competitively. It was a huge part of my life, and I just really feel like I would just eat the setting up. Genre aside, I think I would eat the setting up. So I just kind of want to see, okay? The next book that is an anticipated read for me is Oathbound by Tracy Deonn. I read Legendborn, I think it was this year, back in February. I'm actually going to look that up because it might have been, last year. I need to go on my Goodreads because I can't remember when I read this. I read Legendborn. It wasn't this year because it's 2025. In 2024, I did read Legendborn in February, and I listened to the audiobook, which I don't know if that was my mistake, but at the time it was just kind of like hard to get into. It is a thick book, first of all, and also it was kind of like an introduction almost into fantasy for me, or whatever genre that is, and it was just a lot to get into. The world building was a lot to get into for me personally, and I think that's just a me problem. I haven't dove into just the world of fantasy in general, and so I kind of just, I don't know, I didn't get my feet wet, you know? I don't know, expand my palette. So I think that was a problem for me, but the second half of that book was amazing. And so just because of the second half alone, I rated that book a 4 stars. And then I kind of just thought, you know what, I'm not going to continue the series. It was an interesting try for me. I'm glad I tried it, but you know, it is what it is. But lately I have not been able to stop thinking about that book. Like, Tracy Deonn's mind, just the idea of it in general, like the whole King Arthur lore, I'm just like, what? And then it's just the twists, like I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. So I'm like, maybe I liked it more than I thought I would. And now that I have the background knowledge of book 1, maybe I will enjoy the rest of the series. So I haven't even read book 2. What is that book called? Bloodmarked? I think it's called Bloodmarked. I could be wrong, but I think I would like to try it. And when Oathbound comes out, I'm not gonna buy it on release day. I am just excited for the release. Hopefully I liked Bloodmarked enough to continue to Oathbound. This next release, this is my most anticipated release of 2025. Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I am a Hunger Games girl to my core. Catching Fire is one of my favorite books of all time, favorite movies of all time. It's an amazing franchise, book series and movie franchise. Like, it's just, I will say, I did not like A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes book, but maybe I read it at the wrong time. Maybe I did. I believe I rated it like a 2 stars back whenever it came out and I read it. But the movie, Tom Blythe, that was my awakening of Tom Blythe. And we'll get back to him. We'll get back to him at a later point in this video, okay? This is one that I think will be purchased when it comes out immediately. It also comes out 2 days after my birthday, so I'll have my birthday money to spend on it, and I am beyond excited. I'm beyond excited. And also, can we just talk about Haymitch? Us Hunger Games people have been waiting for Haymitch's story. When it was announced that this was Haymitch's story, you don't understand, okay? Or maybe you do, and we see each other. Let's just move on. The next anticipated release that I can think of is Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I have only read one Emily Henry book, but I think I will eat up every single one of her books, and we can talk about that too. Again, most likely won't be purchasing this immediately when it comes out like the rest of these anticipated releases. It's just a release that I'm excited about and piques my interest. The next one is My Friends by Frederick Bachman. I have never read a Frederick Bachman book. I just feel like his writing is gonna hit me. I feel like it's gonna vibe. I'm gonna vibe with it. I am a sucker for good writing, and I've just heard nothing but good things about Frederick Bachman, so I'm excited to hopefully get into his writing this year, and then eventually maybe I can pick up this one. The last one that I have on this list is Atmosphere, a Love Story by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This book comes out in June. Daisy Jones and the Six is one of my favorite reads of all time. I listened to the audiobook. I recommend everybody to listen to the audiobook. We'll get more into Taylor Jenkins Reid later. I don't think I've rated anything I've read by her less than a 5-star. Her writing is divine, superb. Dare I say flawless? I don't know. Taylor Jenkins Reid, she will be a part of my 2025, okay? I don't know about this book specifically, but Taylor Jenkins Reid as an author will be a part of my 2025. All right, that's enough for the anticipated releases. Let's move on to the next question. All right, the next question is a book on your physical TBR that you will probably never read. I vibe with this question deeply, but I also hate it because my plan is to finish my Tackling the TBR series this year, so I need to read all of the books on my physical TBR. With that being said, there are some books that I'm just dreading, and that book is The Help by Catherine Stockett. I've seen this movie handful of times. This book has been on my TBR for literal years. I don't even know where I got this from, but I don't want to read it anymore. I'm going to because it is part of my Tackling the TBR series, but I most likely will not be reading this edition, or if I do, I'm going to be like tandem reading it, I guess, if that's the right word, with an ebook version on my iPad and the audiobook, because there is just no way. I hate mass market paperback books. Like, I don't know what young me was thinking, teenage me was thinking when she picked this up. I don't want to read it, and I'm ready for it to be off my shelf. The next question is a new genre you would like to try more of in 2025. And then the follow-up question is, what book made you want to try more of that genre? So I'm going to answer both of them kind of at the same time. This isn't really a genre that I have even tried before, but I kind of want to get into sci-fi in 2025, or at least dip my toes into sci-fi. Try it out. For no particular reason other than I have Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir on my physical TBR, and ever since this book landed on my shelves, the algorithm, I mean, we know they're listening, right? But I haven't even like looked this book up, but I'm getting so many like TikToks or just even sprinkled out throughout whatever book content I am watching, whether it be YouTube, whether it be TikTok. It pops up like on Pinterest shelves. Like, it'll just be people saying how much they loved this book. I mean, Andy Weir is like a best-selling author. He has movies about his books. Like, I've seen The Martian. Maybe one day I'll read it, but I don't know. I've heard that people who didn't like sci-fi started with this and now they enjoy sci-fi. So I don't know. I'm really excited about this. I also feel like this is a book that my husband and I can talk about because he loves watching like sci-fi thriller related movies, and I think he's tired of hearing about my little romances. So it's intimidating for sure, but I kind of want to get into this, and maybe this will be my introduction to sci-fi. This is on my Tackling the TBR list, so it will be getting read in 2025. You will see that at some point this year. The next question is a book you're most likely to reread. Now, I am not a rereader. I like going into a book not knowing what's gonna happen. So when I do know what's gonna happen, it's hard for me to like want to do it. But I've always thought this, and I've always said this, if there is any book that I will ever reread, it's Divergent. This series means so much to me as a reader, as a movie watcher. Theo James. Let's stick to the books. This series of books, it just means so much to me as a reader. I read them when they first came out. I got this at a Scholastic book fair, okay? And my mom bought it for me, and I was just so happy. Like, I remember eating these books up as a little reader. Like, I was at a restaurant out in public, family eating, and this was me. Like, Tris and 4, I think I would give anything to be able to read this for the first time again. Do I think I will ever reread it? Probably not, just because there's so many books that I haven't read that I want to give time to. But if I was ever going to reread a book, it would be this book right here. The next question is a book you wanted to get to last year, but you didn't, so you want to prioritize it this year. That book for me is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm so sad I didn't get to this last year. I think it might be a 5-star for me. Haven't even read it. I have heard the theory that whatever Taylor Jenkins Reid book you read first is your favorite. So specifically when you're comparing Daisy Jones and the Six and 7 Husbands. But what if I give them both 5 stars? Like, I read Daisy Jones and the Six first, so according to the theory, I would like that one more than this one. But a lot of people that have read this one first like this one more than the other one. My best friend Ryan hasn't read either. When I told her about the theory, she kind of wanted to test it and read this one first and then Daisy Jones, and then she would let me know what she thought and see if the theory is like true. But I am so excited to read this, and I think the reason why I didn't is because it's such an anticipated 5-star for me. It's like ironic. You would think that because it's a 5-star you would pick it up immediately, but I almost just don't want to get to it because then once I do, it's done, you know? So anyways, again, like I said, Taylor Jenkins Reid is going to be read more this year, and I'm just really hoping that the Tackling the TBR bag hears me and lets me pick this soon, maybe for my next book. The next question is a series you want to read this year. I read The Naturals. I think The Naturals, I'm gonna double check. The Naturals may have been my first book. It wasn't. The Naturals was not my first book, but I read The Naturals back in January of 2024, and I vowed to myself that I would read the whole series in 2024, and I didn't. I'm going to finish it this year. The Naturals was a 5-star read for me. Highly recommend if you haven't read it yet. Ryan, my best friend, again, she gets another shout out. She read Killer Instinct already, and I think she also rated it 5-star. I am so excited. That's all I can say. It is on my Tackling the TBR series, so again, it would be nice to get this. I'm in the mood for it, always, but please, I want to finish the whole series. And then I want to go into the inheritance games, just off of how good The Naturals was. The next question is an author you've never read before, but you want to try. That author for me is Ashley Poston. I have never read an Ashley Poston book. I own the 7-Year Slip. I've heard amazing things about it. And just off of the genre alone, magical realism with like a touch of romance, or romance with a touch of magical realism, it sounds up my alley. This is kind of a little bit of lore about me as a reader, but a few years ago I was at the library and I picked up a book based off of the cover and I read it, and it like changed my reader life. That book was Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore by Robin Sloan. I ate that book up. I rated it 5 stars. The magical realism in that book, like, it was realistic fiction with a touch of magic almost. That, I've learned, is my vibe in reading. So I went on to read Sourdough by him, also rated that very highly. A great, great book. Another one I recommend. And so I've just really been trying to branch into magical realism. So I really want to read Ashley Poston. I've heard that all of her books are kind of like that. It's like a realistic story with elements of magical realism. The Dead Romantics, a novel love story that is like a recent release of hers. So this is definitely one that I wish I got to in 2024, but I really want to pick up in 2025. The next question is, who is an author I won't be reading any more of? I wish I could answer this question honestly. I wish this were the case. James Patterson. I think everybody stopped reading him except for me. However, teenage me saw books for $1. I don't care who they're by or what they're about. I'm gonna get them. And she picked up like 8 James Patterson books. and they're all on her physical TBR. And they're all just random parts of series. She has not enjoyed a single one that she has picked up from her Tackling the TBR series, yet here she is. After 2025, I don't want to read another James Patterson again. So I can't answer this honestly yet, because you will see me unfortunately pick up more James Patterson, but after 2025, that will be the case. I will be done. The next question is, what is a popular book you want to read? If you've been watching this video, you've seen so many popular books that I want to read, but this one I grabbed off of my shelves specifically for this question. Happy Place by Emily Henry. I have this Australian version. How cute is it? I got this because the paperback version of the US edition had not come out yet, and I am a paperback girly. I don't really like hardcovers. Now I'm kind of sad because I have all of the editions of Emily Henry's other books in the US paperback edition, and this one's just so much taller, but I don't care. I think it's cool that I have this. I got this on pangobooks and for a really good price too. Anyways, Happy Place by Emily Henry is a very popular book that I think will again be 5 stars. I've heard this is just like everybody's favorite Emily Henry book, and I think I will agree. I read Book Lovers back in 2023, I think, and I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, and I love Emily Henry's writing, so I'm just excited to pick up more by her. I own a lot more of her books, and I mean, I had one of her books on my anticipated releases list, so I really want to read more of them so that way I can pick up her new releases. The next question is, what is a non-popular book that you want to read this year? My answer for that is The Testing by Joelle Charbonneau. I have owned this book since, again, I was a teenager, and I never got around to it. I have tried it multiple times and failed, not because of the book, more just because I just decided to read other books at the time. This is on my physical TBR, so it is one that I want to get to. It's a series. I doubt I will actually continue the series, but maybe I will. I don't know. This is just kind of, I guess, one of the books that is on my physical TBR that isn't popular, but I'm still excited for. So that question was kind of hard to answer, but I think this is my answer. The next question is an audiobook you really want to listen to. I kind of want to answer this book just based off of like genre. I really want to read more thriller audiobooks, but I guess I'll just talk about the first audiobook I will probably listen to this year, and that is Never Lie by Frida McFadden. I don't think I've ever read a Frida McFadden book, so I'm kind of starting off strong with Never Lie. But this book was just available, so I picked it up. Second, it fits 2 prompts for my buzzword reading challenge, both the title and the cover. So it's gonna be listened to. I mean, I already borrowed it, so Never Lie is definitely an audiobook that I want to listen to. The next question is a book you want to read based off the cover. Coffee break. I need some caffeine. I am the type of person who buys books off of the cover. I should stop doing that, but this book I am excited to read just based off of the premise, but also the cover is beautiful, and that is The Library of Borrowed Hearts by Lucy Gilmore. This cover is so colorful. It's gorgeous. It's pink. I love pink. And also, I've just heard good things about this, like it's cozy, and also books about books are going to grab my heart. So this is definitely my choice for this, but I have so many other choices. I mean, The 7-Year Slip is a gorgeous cover. A few other books that I might show soon have gorgeous covers, so I don't know. But I thought that this would be a good fit for this question specifically though, because I picked this book off of the shelf at the bookstore because of the cover, and then I bought it because of the synopsis. So this is not on my Tackling the TBR list because it was purchased after I started that. So we're lucky if we get to this in 2025 because it is not the 44 books that I need to read. The next question is a book to TV adaptation that you are excited for. Remember when we talked about Tom Blythe? People We Meet on Vacation is gonna have Tom Blythe in it. I haven't even read this book. Again, another Emily Henry that I own but haven't read. This will be read in 2025. It is on my Tackling the TBR list, but I'm hoping it's read sooner rather than later. I don't know when the adaptation comes out. You know what? Maybe that's something that has been announced. Has that been announced? Like the year? It's gonna be, oh, it's made by Netflix? It being made by Netflix might be a good thing, guys. Okay, release date has not been announced, but this needs to be read before then. So hopefully this is on the first half of 2025 rather than the last half of 2025. The next question is, what is something bookish that you want to start doing in 2025? And that for me is my reading journal. I've never had a reading journal before, but this has brought me so much joy in the past few days, more like a week of setting this up. And I don't know, I'm very, very proud of my reading journal setup video. That video took me hours. I think I reduced like 6 hours of footage down into 30 minutes. I spent a lot of time doing the voiceovers, and I'm obsessed with the journal. I'm obsessed with the video. So again, I'm gonna just give myself a shout out. If you haven't watched that video, please go do it. I put so much effort into it and I just love it. And I think that you could use it if you want some inspiration for your own reading journal. But yeah, that's something bookish that I want to include and start doing in 2025 is definitely my reading journal. Something bookish I want to stop doing is buying books impulsively. I don't want to stop buying books in general, but it's a bad habit of mine to buy a book that I've never heard of before, which isn't necessarily a bad thing either, because I mean, you're not going to hear about every book ever before you step into a bookstore, but a lot of the books that I accumulated over years and years and years that are sitting on my shelves for my physical TBR that are now entered into the Tackling the TBR series, I don't want to read anymore. And the problem is that when I bought those books, I knew nothing about them. I picked them up based off of the cover. I picked them up based off of an author's comment on the cover. Like, there are just so many books that I have wanted to read for so long that I don't own because for some reason I just haven't bought them, that I think if I bought, I would probably read almost immediately. But now I can't because I have all these books that I impulsively bought. And yeah, it's just a very, very bad habit. Again, I'm not going on a book buying ban. I don't want to stop buying books. It is a hobby of mine, and I mean, I'm gonna need to fill my shelves when I finish my TBR. But I want to buy books based off of a list that I have compiled, like in Goodreads, my want to read, books that have been on there for years, or books that are highly recommended to me by friends, you know, like that's how I want to go forward with buying books. I don't want to buy them because this looked cool and then I just never want to read it. The next question is, what is a bookish goal you have for 2025? A bookish goal I have for 2025, I mean, I've already said so many, but I guess it will be to clear my physical TBR. Specifically, after July of last year. That is when I really came up with the list and came up with the challenge. So any book that I bought after that, I'm not really counting, but I want to clear my physical TBR in 2025 and start fresh in 2026 with books that I bought because I really, really want to read them. So yeah, that's gonna be my bookish goal, I think. The next question kind of goes with it, but it's, what is a booktube goal that you have for 2025? Now, my channel is not really like a dedicated booktube channel, but because I'm a bookish person, a lot of my content has been bookish related and will continue to be bookish related. So I do feel like I could still answer this question. I guess a goal that is kind of like not related necessarily to like subscriber count, which I do want my subscriber count to grow. I want to have like a little community and interact with people that watch my content and maybe even watch their content. Like, I would like to make bookish YouTube friends. But other than that, I am going to try to upload twice a week this year. I'm going to try really, really, really hard. After completing Vlogmas and being successful at it, I think I can do it. So I'm really gonna push myself to upload twice a week this year. And then a 2025 non-bookish goal for this year, I really just want to, I kind of have two for these. My big one is I want to learn how to sew. I have collected some fabric that I got thrifting, and I'm borrowing a sewing machine right now. So I want to learn how to sew and I want to make things. I want to make a puff quilt. I want to make book sleeves. I want to make I don't even know. I just want to make things, and I think that's my goal for 2025. My non-bookish related goal for 2025. I want to learn how to sew. Mark my words. Maybe a sewing video or a sewing vlog will come out soon. I don't know. The next question kind of goes with the previous two questions, but it is, what is one word that you would use to describe how you want the next year to go? I kind of thought about this one for a while, and I can't really come up with a better word, but I just want 2025 to be my year of creativity. I really just want to be myself and just do all the cozy fun hobbies that I enjoy. I love coloring, I love reading, obviously. I want to get into sewing, I love perler beads. Like, I just want to do all of my fun, creative things and really stick to them this year. So I'm hoping that that will also, you know, come up in my content. Maybe occasionally I'll do like crafty hobby vlogs where I just do all my fun, crafty, girly hobby things all in one like video, and it could be like vlog style. I don't know. I want this year to be my year of creativity, and I could just document that in so many ways. Like even my reading journal, my junk journal spreads, like I just want to be my creative self. The next two questions kind of go hand in hand, but the first one is, who are some booktube creators that you are inspired by? I don't want to miss anybody, but I definitely want to highlight some people that I have recently come across. There are the people that I have been obsessed with, and I think we're all obsessed with and have been for a while, like Sara Carolli, like Destiny Sidwell. Those two, I love them. I live vicariously through them. I get a lot of recommendations from the both of them. They're just like so fun to watch and so dedicated to their channels. I love it. And their podcast is also so good. So they're just kind of like expected ones, but I do kind of want to highlight some people that I've just been inspired by lately. So let me not forget anybody. First of all, Katie Whitruck. I think she just got married. I don't know if she's going to change her channel name to her new last name, but I've been watching her. I think I discovered her like at the beginning of 2024, and I love her videos. I found her through her TBR jar videos, but I binge her content. I think I've seen like every bookish video she's ever come out with. She's so good at editing. I love the ideas that she has for her content, but also I trust her reading recommendations. I think we have very similar reading tastes. That's kind of what I'm looking for, is someone who just kind of like is similar in personality to me, or in, I guess, the content that they make to me, but also that I trust their bookish tastes or their reading tastes, because we all have different opinions and we all like different things. And there are booktube or just creators that I watch on booktube that I watch a lot of their content, but I don't really take their reading recommendations, only because just like historically we don't like the same books. Books that I like they don't like, books that they like and I've read I didn't like. So it's fun and exciting when you find someone that you can both relate to personality wise, but also that you enjoy the same things in books. So Katie is definitely one of those people. Another person that I am inspired by that I just found recently is toribetweenpages. I am very, very inspired by her reading journal content specifically. I just love her aesthetic and the way she sets up her reading journal spreads, and she's just someone that has inspired me to start my own reading journal and start my own reading journal videos. So I've been very inspired by her. There's so many more other people that just because I didn't mention them doesn't mean I don't like them, but I'm really trying to highlight the ones that I just have really been binging their content. So the next person is Breezy Book Reads. She just hit 1,000 subscribers, I think, during Bookmas, and I'm just so happy for her. Like, she's just really been grinding on the booktube content, and it's just been so fun to watch. And again, she is one of those people that I have found to really trust her reading recommendations, because I think we have the same book tastes. I don't know, she definitely reads like a wide variety of genres, which I kind of feel like I do too. in a way. I'm kind of forced to with my physical TBR and the way that that's set up. But I also just really like her videos and the content that she's been producing. It's very fun. And yeah, so she's another one. There's so many more, but I think I'm just gonna stop there because I could just go on and on and on, and this video is going to get way too long. So those are the people that I'm gonna highlight. There's so many more, guys, but I'm just gonna stop there. If there's any like booktube people that you watch that are also smaller and you think are underrated, comment them down below because I would love to check out more smaller booktube creators. I mean, they don't have to be small, but I really just love supporting everybody. And don't get me wrong, I am a stan of bigger booktube creators as well, and I will be a forever supporter. And I'm just so proud of how far a lot of people have gotten. It's just so exciting to see people hit their milestones, their small little milestones that are really huge, but you know, it's just so exciting to see people and their beginnings. So yeah, go ahead and recommend some underrated booktubers that you like watching. The last question, which is kind of more of a prompt, I guess, is something you want to say to people who want to start a bookish account. I would say, again, I am not really a booktube channel, like dedicated, I only make bookish content. I say it in all of my intros, but I upload whatever I want. So if I want to upload reading content, then that's what it's going to be. If I want to upload substitute teaching content, and that's what it's going to be. Vlogs, then that's what it's going to be. And I kind of want to answer this question in the same way. If you want to make a YouTube channel, regardless of what the content is going to be, if you want it to be bookish, or if you want it to be makeup related, or just vlogs, or crafting, or gaming, do it. Don't let anybody stop you. Do it. It is so fun. Even if nobody watches, I just think making YouTube videos is so much fun and it's so rewarding for me. Ever since I started it, I loved it, and I also think something really special about it is it kind of brought me and my best friend Ryan closer together. I still remember the day that I told her I had a YouTube channel, and I was so nervous, but then she was like, I've always wanted to make one too. And I was like, do it. Do it. And now we make YouTube videos together. We're probably going to make one soon, so you'll see that on her channel. Actually, that video went live today that you're watching this, so go check out that video on Ryan's channel. But it is just so fun, and just do it. Just do it. I mean, I've always thought of this since I started my channel, but it's just like any other social media. It's just longer form. We all have TikTok accounts. We all have Instagram accounts. Like, the difference between having an account and posting, what is the difference? I think if anyone is going to hate on you, I think it's really just coming from an internal place of they just want to do it themselves and they don't see themselves posting, or they think that if they posted, people would make fun of them. But really, just do not let anyone else dictate if or when you're ever going to post, because you never know what could happen. There's room for everybody. So I think I need to stop talking. This video is so long and I want to go read. So that is going to be it for today's video. If you're finding me from this video, I'm hoping that there will be more bookish content to come in 2025. Hold me accountable, guys. Hold me accountable. Thank you for sticking through to the end of this video if you did. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. If you like me, then subscribe for more content like this. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.